All right, guys, today we're going to go over two methods for multiplying polynomials. You're going to use this pink handout as a note, so it will be just a stamp check. So on the left side is the FOIL method. The FOIL method, FOIL is an acronym of how to multiply or distribute two binomials. Binomial, let me get my pen here, is basically, in parentheses, two terms, a variable term and a constant term, or maybe two variable terms with different coefficients or two different letters. So the FOIL method says you're going to go first term, which means the first two terms in the parentheses. So this first example is kind of worked out for us. If you look, they did first, which is they're showing the 2x, which is the first term in the first set of parentheses, and the 3x, the first term in the second set of parentheses. So 2x times 3x, they showed that right here, equals 6x squared. Then the O in the FOIL method is the outer terms. That's the two outer side numbers. So that would be the 2x times the 5, and that's going to be minus 5. So a negative 5, which is what they're showing, gives you a negative 10x. Then we're going to do the inner terms. That's the two inside the next to each other here. That's the 7 times the 3x, and that gave us 21x. And the last terms, that's the last term in the first set of parentheses and the last term in the second. So 7 times a negative 5 gave us a negative 35. So what they're showing here next is that they listed these terms, the answers, the products that they got for each step kind of horizontally here. And then I'm just going to underline this so you can see. They combined the like terms, which are these x's here. When I combine a negative 10x to 21x, that's going to leave me 11x. And this is the final answer. It's in standard form, starting with the highest exponent and decreasing until you get to the number. So we're going to practice the FOIL method on this first example. And instead of writing out the FOIL acronym to the left, I'm just going to kind of go through each one. So we had the first term, then we have the outer, then we have the inner, and then we have the last term. Okay, so first term, that would be the x times the 2x. That's going to give me 2x squared. So you do have to apply your exponent rules. If you don't see an exponent, that's like an invisible one there. Then the outer, that's the x times this minus 5. It's going to give me a negative 5x. The inner would be this 3 times the 2x. That's going to give me 6x. And the last would be our 3 times this negative 5. Would give me negative 15. So really what we're doing is we're adding all these together. And then here we're going to have to combine our like terms. So when I simplify, my final answer here is 2x squared. This is going to give me plus x minus 15. And there we have it. So that's the FOIL method. You could also use on the right side here the box method. So because we have two binomials, we're going to do a 2 by 2, okay, which gives us 4 squares. 2 times 2 is 4. And we're going to place the binomials outside the box. So they're trying to show you here. The first 2x plus 7 is on the left, and then the 3x minus 5 is on the top. And now they're just showing that they multiplied the two terms. They're just going first row 2x times 3x, and then 2x times a negative 5. And then they did 7 times 3x. They're showing that here. You don't have to show the multiplication. You just need to do it and simplify. So here's the simplified answer. 6x squared, then minus 10x, plus 21x, and then minus 35. So whenever you use the box method, the thing you have to recognize is that your diagonals are where the like terms are. So here, you're going to have to combine like terms to simplify our expression. And so when we write it, we'll start with the highest exponent. That should always be in the upper left-hand box, which is what we have. And then the 11x minus 35. So notice that it gives you the same answer. You're going to get to the same answer. So at this point, we just want you to pick a method that you like using and be proficient in that method. So I'm not saying you have to do the box method. If you prefer that, you need to just show it and then simplify it by combining like terms and diagonally. So here, we're going to either use the box method or the FOIL method. For the first one, I'm going to do FOIL. So it's first, so that would be, it's kind of hard to see, but that would be the A times the A, that's going to give me A squared. Then it's going to be the outer, that's the A times -2, so that's -2A. The inner, this is 3 times the A, so that's a positive 3A. And then our last terms would be the 3 times the -2, so that's the -6. Then I can just go ahead and combine these like terms here, simplify this. This would be A squared plus A minus 6. Okay. Now you can use the box method if you want. I'm going to show the box method on number 2, or you can continue with the FOIL. So you can just check your answer. But I'm going to create my box, which is, and outside the box would be the first expression, the binomial, which is 2x, and then the plus 3. And the next one is going to be 2x and minus 3. So now I'm just going to do the multiplication. 2x times, it's kind of like Punnett square. 2x times 2x is going to give me 4x squared. Then 2x times this minus 3 is negative 6x. 3 times 2x, that's a positive 6x. And 3 times a negative 3, that's going to leave me a negative 9. Sorry. So here we're going to combine these like terms. And I don't know if you see this, but when I combine them, this is going to become 0. They're going to actually cancel each other. So my final answer would have been 4x squared. I forgot my square, sorry. 4x squared minus 9. Okay. So just whatever method you use, just make sure we're doing it correctly, and you show your steps and works for that. So on the front of this page was the binomials. On the back, if you look here, we have a binomial and a trinomial. That means 3 terms. So on this first example, the 2x minus 7, that's the binomial. But 3x squared plus x minus 5, that's the trinomial. There's 3 terms here. So instead of doing FOIL, we just do what we call the distributive method. And we're going to distribute I think it's easy to just do each term at a time. They're showing you to multiply the monomial by the binomial. So they're saying, okay, we're going to take this 2x minus 7 and multiply by the 3x squared. That gives us that expression. Then take it and multiply it by the x. Take the 2 and multiply by the 5. Or you can just, and I'm just going to show this with a different color, or you can just distribute one term, like multiply and do one term at a time. Okay, and then you would go to the next, which would be the -7 to each term. So they worked it out here, showing those steps, and they did the same thing over here with the box method. Notice they put the 2 terms on the left side, the 3 terms on the top, and they multiplied each term row at a time, and then they simplified. And then when they did the box method, remember I said the diagonal, so if you go here, this is a simplified of each product. This would be a like term because they both have x squares here. And then this is also a set of like terms because they both have x's. And then they combine those like terms. If you see, this negative 21x squared and that 2x squared gets simplified to just minus 19x squared. And then when I do the -7 and the -10, that's a -17x. So you just got to remember to combine your like terms. So if I do the distributive, I'm going to do distributive of number 1 here. I'm doing this first term. I'm going to multiply to each term in the trinomial. So this would be 49x squared. Then I'm going to do 7x times 3x, hippity-hoppity distributive property. That's going to give me 21x. And then the 7x times 10, that's going to leave me with 70x. Then I'm going to go to the next term, which is 3. I'm multiplying by that 7x squared. That's going to give me 21x squared. 3 times the 3x, that's 9x. And then 3 times 10, that's 30. Then here I can see I have my like terms, and I forgot my x squared on number 1 right here. Sorry, the 7x times 3x, that should have been 21x squared. Sorry. So here are my like terms. I'm sorry, I messed up on this. This should have been cubed. Sorry again, guys. All right, because x, this is a 2. This is supposed to be an exponent of 2. So that makes that 3. I apologize. Here we go. The 49x cubed is the highest, so that stays first. Then I go, and here's my two like terms, the x squares. That becomes 42x squares. Then the next highest are just x's. So I'm going to add those together. That's 79x. And then the last is our number, which is 30. Okay. So I want you to try number 2, either distribute or the box method, and that's what I'm going to stamp check. All right. Now, after you finish this example, we have some practice problems we're going to do here on this worksheet. On the first, I think it's first 4 or 5, we're just doing monomial to a binomial. So it's just straight distributing. Okay. This 6v times 2v is 12v squared. And 6v times 3 is 18v. And that's our final answer. So we're just distributing one term to each term inside. But then when we get to number 5, now we're using the FOIL method or the box method. So first terms together, that's 12n squared. Outer terms, that's 2n. N term, that would be 12n. And last term, that's 12. 12, sorry. No, 2. Why did I say 12? Dang it. Then we're combining like terms here. So 12n squared plus now a total of 14n plus 2. Okay. So you can do that, or you can do your box method. I'll show that on number 6 here. So you just need to build your box. Inside the box, on the outside would be the first, the 4n, and the plus 1, and then 2n, and the plus 6. And then we're doing each term. So this would be 8n squared. 4n times 6 would be 24n. 1 times 2n and give me 2n, and 1 times 6 is 6. And then we have to realize these are the like terms. So the final answer would be 8n squared plus 26n plus 6. And we combine them. So we got some more binomials on this page. And then when you get to the back, there's 13, 4p minus 1 squared. This means you have 2 factors of the binomial. This is the number of factors. That exponent always tells us the number of factors. So this is really saying 4p minus 1 times 4p. There's 2 of them, minus 1. And now we're back to FOIL method. So some more FOIL. And then we have binomial times a trinomial. So we're either going to distribute or doing the box. So if I'm distributing, this will be 24a cubed, then minus 4a squared. And this will be plus 8a. That's the first terms. Then I go to the next term, 2 times 6a. That's going to give me 12a squared. This will be minus 2a. And this will be plus 4. Now I'm just combining my like terms. The 24a cubed is the highest. Then I go to the a squares. This is going to leave me with 8a squared. Then I go to my a's. That's going to give me 6a. And then plus 4. And there's our final answer. So we're either distributing or using the box method. You can rearrange this, like put your binomial first times the trinomial, okay, to make it like the original ones on these two. And then the last one, we have a trinomial times a trinomial. So you're going to have to distribute each term. So I do want you to try that. You're going to have to do one at a time, hippity hoppity, distributive property, then go to the next term, and then go to your last term, okay? All right, and this is what you're going to turn in. This is going to be a grade. All right, thank you.